Hi everybody, hi Dr. Nick. Today we're going to play more Kerbal Space Program, because it's that time again. So let's continue wherever we left off. Last time I was making the vertical takeoff and launch jet in the space plane hangar here. Let's load it up real quick and get a look at this horrible thing that doesn't really work. The problem it has is the wheels. Of course, I can put regular landing gear on it, but the point of it is supposed to be that it uses these as takeoff and landing gear. But I was thinking, and why not just give it regular landing gear too? Would that not make sense? Like this, it has both, instead of just relying on these, because these wobble for some reason when they're in this position. You'd think this would work fine because, well, they're on points and the points are all going in the same direction, but it does not work that way. So let's try this and hope for the best. If it ever loads up. And here we are, right where I want to be. Let's tee it up. Wait, what? It's going kind of wobbly there. Oh, it was that. RCS, full throttle, up, forward, pull up just a little bit. Too much pulling up. Pick a direction, go that way. Oh, it's definitely in the air. The question now is for how long? And of course, we still have the problem of not being able to land vertically. So technically, it's not a vertical takeoff and launch vehicle, because that would imply that it could do both. Alright, well, we proved that point. It still takes off relatively alright. I could probably launch it just fine if I still had the laser system mod, which it had a better control system for flight. A much more advanced form of SAS. More like an autopilot, really. If I still had that, I could probably fly that thing pretty well, but that is not the case. So now the tricky part is to try to take off normally. Shit. Oh! Yep, he's gonna die. I don't want him to die. I've killed too many of them. Okay, so this isn't really gonna work. Let's try making something a little simpler then. How about a remote guidance unit, a small one? Zoom all the way in. I want this to be, yeah, just like that. Let's put a jet intake on the top of it. An advanced SAS module. A little bit RCS. Although I guess it doesn't really need it within the atmosphere, so it's mostly just for show. It's probably fine like that. It's mostly just to stop any roll it'll encounter. Not really for control. And then some jet fuel, which would be the fuselage. Basically, we're building a jet engine rocket right side up. As if this was the vertical assembly building. And I want to see if that works. Because if I can get this to work, it'll change the way I do things on here. Of course, it seems like I'm going to have a problem with control surfaces. Let's try this again. Alright, I guess that'll work. I really should put more than that, though. Just a single one right there. And another one right here. Right there. Let's see if I can actually use these in here. Yep. And I should probably add some of the tiny separatrons for the initial takeoff, because this thing's probably not going to be powerful enough to lift itself with just a jet engine off the start. So better safe than sorry. I'll probably put... Well, I want to see if it'll go up first. It's just a robot. I don't have to worry about killing anybody this time. VTOL 2. Do I have caps lock on? Yep. Because if I can get like this to work, then what I can do is just put landing gear on the back end of it and actually land and stuff that way. So we'll see if this works, but not the most optimistic endeavor. It's kind of derpy looking. Full throttle up. It has air intake. It doesn't have electric charge, but it doesn't seem to be bothering it. It's weird. Whatever. Should right itself in a second. There we go. Alright, let's see how I can actually fly this thing. I mean, it should fly just like a normal plane. It's pretty much a rocket. Oh yeah, it rolls damn crazy. Turn it around. Yeah, flies pretty well for such a weird little thing. This actually works, amazingly enough. So now let's go ahead and try... We've proven the concept, it flies, that's all I need to know. If I can land vertically. Which would just mean adding the landing gear to the bottom of it. Which hopefully will fit. I might have to move the these things down. Yeah. My only worry now is that the Separatrons there will burn the yeah, I'll just move them. Put this where... Nope. Put this where I actually want it, which is actually on the 45. And I'll put these underneath right here. That's not right. It definitely would not have landed like that, that's for sure. That's about right. Let's put the Separatrons back on. Of course, now my worry is that the things aren't going to fit there. Ooh, that's not the right ones. Let's see. Let's try to get them on here. That'll work. Oop. Let's put that there. Alright, that should do it just fine. Let's launch it. Alright, this time I am not going to use the full throttle of the jet engine. I don't want it to go crazy up, I just want it to go up and then come back down. Hopefully that's what it'll do. Landing gear deployed. Definitely long enough to land it. Just a matter of getting it right. Nope. The jet engine isn't really powerful enough for that, so I'll probably go ahead and replace the jet engine with a regular rocket. Basically, have you ever seen like the old Bugs Bunny cartoons where the Martians would come down in a vertically landing rocket? It was obviously a regular rocket that just happened to be able to land on landing gear, right set up like a lunar lander or something. That's pretty much what I'm building here, is a lunar lander. So let's try it one more time. I'll go ahead and make a new one from scratch here. Go ahead and keep this. Of course, I have to remember to put power generation on it this time, because that's what'll do it. It shouldn't need anything on top, so I'll go ahead and put this here. As usual, I'm not going to use a parachute on top, because that doesn't seem fair. Because the point of it is to be able to land on its own, not assisted with a parachute. So I'm going to try to put 4 of these on here properly. So I'm going to need that for proper landing. Alright, that's all of those. We'll go ahead and put a small tank. And I don't know if the smallest engine would do it 50 power. I have to try though, because I think the other engines would be too long, like this, and the landing gear might not catch it. Although if I'm using that, then I don't need that big tank. I can just use a half-size one. So let's add the wing things I had before. Alright, everything's good there. Let's add the landing gear before anything else here. I'll put the smaller landing gear this time. Yeah, it should be fine. They're still plenty long. It's more a matter of it's a matter of the weight. Like they don't need to be super heavy because the impact tolerance is the same. So it's not like I'm sacrificing landing ability. These were just, I think, a little bit longer. So, it should still work fine. They can take the same hit, that's all that really matters. Only gonna put the 2 of those this time. Actually, we'll just put 1 on each side like that. Let's see here. They seem really big now. Alrighty, that should do it. I know it looks kind of weird again. Nothing's quite centered or snapped properly. The third attempt at a vertical takeoff and landing. I almost forgot to put power generation on it again. Just put it straight here on the top. That'll probably be fine. Yeah, that's pretty good. It needs power generation. Alrighty, let's turn everything on, get everything going. No power to the engine yet. It's not leveling out like it's supposed to, which is worrying. And now it's rolling violently. This one's literally coming down like a missile. I've created a missile. Landing gear. The engine survived. I saw that. No, it didn't. Let's try that again. I don't know what went wrong. The design is pretty much the same. Maybe it's because I had the engine off at the start. It just seemed like it did it. It just wants to go that way for some reason. Nope, don't do it. Damn it. I think the SAS has gone retarded or something. What happens if I turn it off? Yep, it's the SAS. Alright, we'll kill it then. Come on, pull up. This thing, it's behaving like a ballistic missile, pretty much. It wants to just fall head on. Like, no amount of thrust vectoring or RCS is making this thing right itself, so. Not even the aerodynamics of it is helping. So I guess that is a bust. That one definitely did not work. So I've got nothing. I cannot, for the life of me, figure out what is wrong with this thing. I mean, this one's fine. It's balanced. Seems like it's balanced just fine, right? Center of thrust, it's fine. Lift is the same. No, it's not. What's wrong with this thing? Something is off balance here very badly. Is it these stupid things? Is that what it is? Get rid of this stuff. That's probably what it is. Let's try it one more without the weird little things here. This will be the final attempt. And then I'll scrap this and I'll have to come up with a new model for that. I'll start a... That'll be the episode and I'll come up with a new model for next time. Seems fine now. I guess that's what it was. The landing gear might be short. Yeah, it's short. Damn it. So if I just put the big landing gear on it, it looks like it would work. Yeah, it works. So it was just the Separatrons that were doing it. They were in an aerodynamically weird spot. Look, it even landed perfectly fine without the gear. The gear's not doing anything. It's floating there. So yeah, this will work. I just got to fix the design a little bit. Obviously use the bigger gear or lower these down probably to that bottom edge, maybe. But we have a working one. It does function as a plane. It'll fly normally. It's more like a missile, actually. But it works. And it does vertically take off and launch, as you just saw. Well, not take off. Take off and land, obviously. But it works. So... thank you for watching, and I will see you next time with more Kerbal Space Program.